I'm Greer Pester. I'm from Glasgow, and I'm a visual and social artist. So I have my own visual art practice, but I also work a lot in the community. The two strands of my practice are quite interlinked. Like I do a lot of participatory art workshops in the community, but I also make a lot of work around the human condition and what it means to be and feel alive and the cycles of life and death. I work a lot with tissue paper, and I recently started working with gels, lighting gels as well, playing with, I guess I'm interested in how it like the interaction with light and elements and how that changes the work and how it's quite ephemeral. And yeah, the interactivity of that as well. Like I'm interested in the window functioning as this interface, certainly after these times where it's been very much a lot of inside time and not outside time, and the windows have operated as this kind of platform for communication. So I've been looking at a lot of diagrams of parts of the brain and the sexual organs and the layers to that, and I think tissue paper really like adds itself to that because it works really well as like a layered paper form, and it's quite graphic. There's quite a lot of bodily reference in my work, kind of the body as a landscape, and like biomimicry and how we sort of mimic our environment with our kind of internal body parts. So I've been playing with that and using forms and shapes on the window directly, but then also making some paper works along that kind of line of thought. This was actually given to me by accident for another job, and it's called a chubby paint marker, but it's kind of like a bingo dabber, and it like has a small pad that releases ink slowly, and I found that it's really lovely on tissue paper. So I've been really enjoying using that, and it's quite like rhythmical as well, so you can just be like, a bingo dabber, they're bingo dabbers. Professional terms. Well, I like listening to a lot of podcasts, but also very eclectic music that holds like a lot of nostalgia. I like listening to kind of like, I lived in Mexico for a number of years, so I listened to like a lot of like old boleros, which is like old women singing romantically in Spanish, which I enjoy listening to. And then like, yeah, a very eclectic mix of music. I do get a wee bit emo sometimes, and I like listening to like really sad music that makes me all emotional and want to make like beautiful emotional work about my emotions. So yeah, but I would say quite eclectic. It really depends on my mood. But yeah, I have lots of sort of philosophical podcasts and things that I follow that I quite like, enjoy listening to around similar themes whilst I'm working. The way I generate ideas, I think, is probably a lot about like observing people, observing society, conversations around that. But I think also I get really inspired by materials and colour, and I feel like I have this sort of like vocabulary of symbols that I often refer to that is like continually growing, and a lot of it is kind of playing with that combination of symbols. I've really like lacked public interaction with my work, because I think certainly post-lockdown there's been a lot of focus on the digital world, and you're kind of nobody's seeing your work in real life. It's like an image of your work existing on the internet. The socially engaged practice, which really I think fuels a lot of my practice, because a lot of it is very playful and inspired by interactions with children and adults, but yeah, primarily I work with children, and just like exposure to their sort of genius and like free-spiritedness and just very genuine, kind of authentic way of seeing the world. Maybe it's a lot of it is like about connecting with my own inner child, to sort of find that kind of free, playful, liberated creative practice. There's a lot of things in strands that run in my practice that are just like are reinforced by those connections and those moments. So yeah, I think it's been really nice actually, just like being in the space with the work as well. So yeah, I've really enjoyed it.